fixmyweightloss.com. That's fixmyweightloss.com.
With NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh. We've got some weather news on the horizon with winds potentially gusting up to 60 miles per hour on Tuesday with 30 to 35 mile an hour winds that day. Winds will be around 10 to 15 on Monday today, but will get much higher tomorrow on Tuesday. Counties northwest Kansas may get fire weather watch and high wind warnings as a result of the heavier gusts and warmer temps, with highs of up to the mid to low 70s on Monday and Tuesday. Veterinary nursing students at Colby Community College will host a pet wash from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, February 21st in the Stanley Carr Agricultural Center located on the college campus. The pet wash is for both dogs and cats, and there are suggested donations for the dogs ranging from $20 to $45 and $20 for cats. Proof of vaccinations is required. For those and other stories, go to nwksradio.net.
Today, another mild day is in store with highs in the upper 60s to around 70. Skies will be partly cloudy and winds lighter at 5 to 15 miles per hour, varying from the northwest in the morning, turning to the southeast in the afternoon. Overnight winds are forecasted to shift to the southwest and increase to around 10 to 20, gusting to 25 miles per hour. This will keep lows mild and around 40, and then tomorrow a red flag warning will be in place for the entire area. High wind watch along and west of highways 25 in Gove County. Southwesterly winds gusting 40 to 60 miles per hour will lead to potential multi-hazard day with dangerous fire weather, strong to damaging winds, and blowing dust. Also, very warm temperatures will be near record highs in the mid-70s to low 80s. And tomorrow night, a cold front will move through and drop temperatures below freezing. Wednesday will be cooler but still mild with temperatures in the low 60s. This meteorologist Chris Stromick, the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
At Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic, they believe in promoting healthier living through compassionate quality care. From state-of-the-art maternity care to life-saving emergency services, their dedicated team is there for you and your family. Whether it's managing diabetes, navigating recovery, or receiving specialized treatments, they're committed to your well-being. Discover the difference a community-focused hospital can make. Visit rayhospital.org today to learn more. Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic. Your health, our priority.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pest Away in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pest Away today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
Need a porta potty or septic pumping in Northwest Kansas? Call Topside Portables and Pumping, your local family-owned crew. They've got clean, reliable toilets for weddings, farms, and job sites, plus full septic services, RV waste, fertilizer tanks, and more. Available 24/7, because when nature calls, they answer. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. Reliable, local, clean.
Looking for serious truck savings? Head to Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland and check out these Chevrolet deals happening now. Drive home a 26 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom with up to $6,000 in rebates, now just $45,335. Need more features? Step into a 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 LT with up to $5,750 in rebates, now $52,040. Power, capability, and value, all backed by the Chevrolet name. See the lineup today at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, online at hurlchev.com.
We've been serving ag families for generations because we believe farming isn't just a job, it's a legacy. Whether you're just starting out or expanding your operation, F&B Bank has flexible lending solutions designed for you. This is Loan Officer Kennedy Frank at F&B Bank. We're proud to be your hometown ag lender, member FDIC.
You ready? One, two, three, four! It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
And Connor Schuh.
He's the new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show, broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Covering it all from the preps.
He's at the 10, the 5. He dives for the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Cowboys!
To the pros.
Line drive, left field, base hit. Here comes McMahon. He'll score. Ball game.
The Blitz is presented by Pearl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pestaway LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakland.
Let's go to work.
Dunga on the steal. Council up the floor. A lob. Flory. Oh, slam. He spikes it down on a 30-foot alley-oop lob.
Wildcats with the basketball. There's P.J. Haggerty, fakes the three, now shoots the three after going to his left, swish. There it is for P.J. Haggerty. That's 7, his second three, the 4th of the day for the Cats, who are on top 15-6, and he has hit 2,000 career points.
Johnson goes to work. He bounces on him defensively. A pick to his left. Blows by him on his way to the hoop with the left hand, and we're tied at 78.
Pitch, Farrell swings and drives this one. Center field and deep, and it is gone! 2-run home run, Jesse Farrell, and this game is tied at 2.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Back here on the Morning Blitz on Rocket 1025 KLOE, as well as NWKSradio.net and the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream. Glad to be back with you here on February the 16th. My sincere apologies for Friday. Yeah, you don't want to know what I was doing on Friday morning.
How are you feeling?
Morning Blitz. I'm feeling fine. Thank you. Despite some old man back pain, which I'm just going to call it that. Despite some old man back pain, I'm just going to call it. I don't know why. I don't know what I did, but there's something in my lower back that's just causing me some aches. But despite
I thought you were sick.
No, I was sick.
So
I'm saying, you're asking me how I'm feeling, and I'm just saying, well, I feel good despite some lower back pain right now.
Jeez.
That's all I'm saying.
I get you.
So so yes, I was sick. I did not miss the show because of low back pain. That was not the reason I missed the
Put him in
program.
the IR. Jeez.
No, it was not that. I was truly sick. You don't know what I was doing at the time that the Blitz usually kicks off here at about 8 to 10 minutes after 7 o'clock Mountain Time. You don't want to know what I was doing. So we'll just leave it at that. And I was feeling a little, it was more like the 20, it was probably, I call it like the 36-hour bug. So, and so after about, probably late Saturday night, it would have been late Friday night, early Saturday morning, I was feeling better. And so anyway, but yeah, you didn't want to really be around me, and not even my own family. I mean, they went to the in-laws, they just kind of left me be alone.
Jeez.
Bless their heart.
Isolation.
Pretty much. And that's fine. That's fine. And so, I was feeling better on Saturday and into Sunday. And like I said, the only real negative is, and like I said, I don't know what I did, but again, I'm just going to call it old man back pain is what I've got going on for me today. That if I could just get this ironed out, we are back to 100.
Probably stood up too fast.
Who knows? I don't want to try to think what happened, but what can I say? I'm just going to, even though I'm not that old in the number age-wise, there are some days I feel a lot older, but most days I don't. But today is this weekend and today was one of those days. But nonetheless, how are you doing, my friend? Doing well?
A little tired, but we're up and moving. Ended up filling up the weekend. Had Colby High School on Friday, then did a little PA for the college on Saturday, then a little tech basketball yesterday, and a little bit of my own basketball again, of course.
Oh, how was your basketball this week? I want about your personal basketball.
Oh gosh, not as great as the last time. I went a little cold from the field. And I gotta stretch more. My knees are feeling like some bricks.
I'm telling you right now, that is the thing that I have to get better at, and I still am terrible at it. I've said it for multiple years now. I need to get better at stretching, and I just haven't. And look what happens, lower back pain. So get to stretching, young man.
I'm trying. I already feel the lower back pain.
So get to stretching. It's going to help you down the road, I would think, because I need to be better about it myself personally. But well, good. I'm glad to hear I know it's a busy weekend. If there was one thing, and I'm going to say if there was one thing that was nice about being what I had this previous week, is that I got to spend a little bit extra time in bed, which means a little bit of time catching up on sleep. And during this time of year, that is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, We get a lot of late nights with the trips all the way around Western Kansas.
For people who don't understand, it just kind of stacks up over
Yes.
time. You know, you're not going to feel it like in December or maybe even throughout early January, but you get into February or you've been going strong and consistent for a month and a half or so, it really starts to just kind of compile on you. I know I have a running trend, and unfortunately I do. I hate this running trend, but I have the running trend. I've missed, I think, at least one basketball game the last 3 years due to sickness, just like what I've had.
No.
I know it's terrible. I blame my kids partially for it because they bring
Could be part of it.
They bring it home. It's definitely their fault. Love them, but it's their fault. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately it's one of those deals. Your body kind of gets worn down, which then you bring in that stuff, and then it's over. So I give a salute to a lot of teachers out there, how they make it through the school year without getting sick. Some of them, I don't know. I'd love to know their secrets.
Just wipe everything down.
Yeah,
every class.
I tried to do it in my own house, but it obviously didn't work for me. But nonetheless, hope everyone's had a great weekend. Hope we're ready to roll into this week here. But yeah, we're going to get rocking and rolling here on today's program. We will get to weekend winners and losers and the leftovers. No guests today. We're just going to focus on ourselves here on this Monday. So let's get things rolling with the weekend winners.
There are two kinds of people in this world.
There's winners and there's losers.
Which ones were which this past weekend?
I want winners.
Loser? You're a loser.
It's the weekend's winners and losers on the Morning Blitz.
Want to be a winner, be a winner.
Okay, weekend winners. If you want to hand out your winners of the weekend, hit us up on the FNB Bank text line, 785-899-2222. By the way, shout out to our listener who won the tickets to the Valentine's Day dinner dance. Thank you for tickets. Food was good. The music was great as well. So a fantastic weekend at the Valentine's Day dinner dance at your Distance restaurant. Thank you to all those who participated and made that a good event. All right, what do you got for weekend winners, amigo?
So we're going to start off local, of course. Colby High School basketball back on the right track. A couple straight wins for both teams and a sweep on Friday of Cimarron in Cimarron, and each team really handled business. I have the boys' score in front of me. It was 64-49. There were a couple of times where that one got a little scary in the second half, but you could see they really found a way to pull away again and again, but it did kind of come with a caveat. Unfortunately, Cody Wright kind of twisted his ankle and he had to leave not early in the first half, but in the first half. So hoping for a quick recovery for him now, because now he's on this bench with Coben Curry and Aiden Jocelyn. All three of those guys banged up right now. So Colby boys really hoping to get healthy soon. Now the other side, Colby girls, they pretty much handled business against Cimarron 41-13. Cimarron girls just think they're in a bit of a development stage right now. Only 3 wins this year. Just
did Tagum Escom play?
I
don't think so.
Don't think so, if I remember correctly.
She got hurt in the Nickerson game, which was the game before the second time they played Goodland here in I think it was early February. And anyway, and she's their best player by far, and she got hurt, and I think she's done for the rest of the season. And so they're playing extremely shorthanded.
Yeah.
Very shorthanded, unfortunately for them.
Because they only had I think 10, 11 girls. There were not many kids on that bench.
Yeah, it was good. What's your thoughts of the Cimarron press setup?
I liked it a lot because I had my own table. It was nice and cozy, and they were very accommodating. I made sure to check before, and as you know, checking with ADs and with people for press setups can be a little hit or miss sometimes. But shout out to Cimarron's AD. Let me pull up his name just so I can give the proper respect, because
older, no offense,
I'm losing it.
A little bit of an older gentleman. I forget his name.
Yes, Jeff. I can't remember his last name though. Okay. Jeff Blattner. Shout out to you, Jeff Blattner, for the response and very helpful and telling me where I was supposed to go, and ended up finding it pretty quickly. And Cimarron's got some cool facilities. I think that upper bowl where it's I kind of described the sides as being, it was walled up almost like a hockey rink, but with lower,
I guess, lower walls, but it kind of had that vibe, oddly enough, at least on the top. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but
It's a unique gym. I like it sunken down. I think the other thing is interesting is the kind of the secondary gym is off to the side.
it's like right there.
right there. It's unique, but
You could hear the whistle from
Yes.
those games, like mid girls game, and it's probably caused some confusion, I'm sure.
Nope, it's interesting, but it's a neat gym. And they recently redid that whole press area where they took out a couple of rows and have kind of made a little press area. And I think it's a unique idea. Very slick. So shout out to Cimarron. They have a really nice press setup for their media. Weekend winners here on the Morning Blitz. I'm going to start in wrestling because it was a busy weekend for girls wrestling with regionals. Shout out to Colby Lady Eagle Wrestling, regional champs.
Yeah.
The Lady Eagles taking home the championship of the 4A Augusta Regional by a single point. They get it done there in Augusta, but they get it with the win. They qualify 8 different ladies, and those ladies do include, I wrote them all down here for everybody, Adrian Salcido, Dallas Steiben with Mackenzie Reimer, Faith Hoover, Gala White, Lux Verbis, and Alana Fabricius all made it, as well as Morgan Hills, who was a regional champ. She finished in first place, did Morgan Hills of Colby. So 8 different gals qualifying for state. At that same regional in Augusta, Goodland had 3 girls place in the top 8, sending them to the state tournament in Salina here in a couple weeks. Danica Doddle, Landon Von Lintel, and Maya Wallace. So 11 from the 4A regional there in Augusta are going to state. And then at the 3 through 1A Waukene regional in Waukeno at Trigo High School, 18 different girls qualified for state. A couple of the highlights included Oakley's Abigail Jackson and St. Francis's Hensley Mathis, who were regional champs. Oakley and Saney had great showings as teams as well. They finished 3rd and 5th at Oakley and St. Francis, respectively, in the team standings. Russell was the regional champ, but a great showing, and a shout out to all the ladies who qualified for state wrestling in 3 through 1A. Rollins County's Maggie Holly, Hoxie's Josie Bell, Molly Rayner, and Kylie Kincaid, I think it's that, or Kylie Kincaid. Oakley had 8 wrestlers qualify as well. I mentioned Abigail Jackson, but Brooke Smith, Callie Wagner, Hadley Youngkin, Kylie Hodges, Laura Smith, Sawyer Beckman, Hadley Lauber, and then you had Decatur Community's Kyra Sowers, and then St. Francis had 5 ladies qualify along with Hensley Mathis, Madison Siegfried, Reagan, I that Milne, I might have spelled that wrong, Cheyenne Labarge, and Michaela Hayes. Were all qualifiers for the state wrestling tournament in Hayes coming up here on February 27th. So congratulations to all the state qualifiers continuing their seasons here for another couple weeks. They got a week off here before they wrestle again coming up here on the 27th and 28th at either Hayes for 3 through 1A or 4A there in Salina. So congratulations to all the regional qualifiers, and particularly Colby High School Lady Eagles on a regional championship in wrestling. My first winner of the weekend.
I can't believe we haven't brought up anything about the man that pertains to this next winner I have.
Okay.
If you know what I'm talking about here.
I thought mine was going to be in losers, but anyway, go ahead.
I have the Kansas State fans as my second winner of the weekend. Finally, maybe, because I thought they would at least wait till the end of the year or next year because of, obviously, the dollars.
Yep.
But Gene Taylor trying to fire Jerome Tang for cause. And if they can successfully get out of this without having to pay that buyout, I think Kansas State fans would be even bigger winners. And I think the entire town of Manhattan would rejoice after that, because if they can manage to prove that, because I think it's a slippery slope when you're trying to fire a guy for cause because of things he said and not legitimate violations of rules and such, because he didn't technically do anything wrong by the book, but he definitely he skirted some lines. And so, I mean, the fans are already winners because they've been asking for him to go for a year or two by now, but we'll always remember the great March Madness run a few years ago. That was pretty cool. So we'll always have that as a memory and respect him for that. But it was about time, and K-State fans can rejoice. I was talking to a K-State fan last night at basketball, and he just couldn't keep the smile off his face.
Yeah,
when talking about it.
There are a lot of happy fans in Manhattan right now. There's no doubt about it. There's a lot of big people across the state of Kansas that Jerome Tang was fired yesterday, and they're going to try and get him for cause. More on that in a second. But
yeah,
I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit surprised.
What was I?
I was kind of surprised. Now, was I shocked? No, but I was surprised. I think in today's era of basketball, correct, not basketball, college sports, where every dollar is worth a fortune because of where you got to spend it, whether it's on your own roster or with your facilities or with your everyday workings behind the scenes, you need every penny that you can get. And to say we're going to take $18 million and pay this guy, in case we don't, but I know Gene Taylor thinks he's going to get him for cause. Once again, more on that in a second. But I just, if you don't get him for cause, you owe a lot of money to a guy.
Yes.
A lot of money. And no offense to Jerome Tang, I don't think he's going to be out there getting a big-time head coaching gig anytime too soon. So he ain't going to make a lot of money to get, so if he met, it's not like he's going to get paid $5 million over the next, and that you still owe, $13 million if that's the case, but that ain't happening. You're going to owe a good portion of this $18 million if you can't get him to fire him for cause. It's amazing to watch all the tweets. I mean, there are some, my favorite thing is watching these freezing cold takes about Jerome Tang in his first season. Oh my gosh.
You see a lot of those.
Hilarious. Those are great. I mean, there's some Riley Gates, our good friend, Ryan Gilbert, our good friend. There are some freezing cold takes. One with Ryan Gilbert talking about how he thinks Jerome Tang's better than Bill Self.
Oh,
freezing
wow.
cold take. There's one with Riley Gates talking about how Jerome Tang is the man that we've needed for many years at K-State. Freezing cold take. I love those guys. I love them. Those takes were horrible, and they'll stand on it and say they were terrible takes.
Can you blame him for thinking that after that season, though?
I mean, the problem was every K-State fan, booster, everybody was bamboozled by that first miraculous year where everything fell into place. They got the coach who got the players. They were able to bring in Keontae Johnson despite that heart issue, and many teams couldn't bring him on because of legality issues and health issues. They said, we'll be fine. We'll deal with it. They brought him in, and guess what? It all worked out amazingly to this amazing Elite Eight run. You're right. Those are some great memories. I remember sitting and covering Goodland baseball, and I was updating throughout the game some of the scores because there were fans in the stands wanting to know how it was going along with their game. I think it was in the Elite Eight or the Sweet 16. And so it was, it was a unique time for sure, but it's never been the same since. Never, ever since that first year, ever been the sense. And he really lost it when he started to say things that, it's not me, it's the kids, it's the players.
Yeah, once you shift the blame, you lost it.
Which, once again, I cannot recall in my time a coach of that level ever doing that. I can't ever recall it, no matter how bad things were.
Well, actually, Mick Cronin of UCLA, that guy is just miserable. He hates everything, and he will blame his team.
He is a curmudgeon. There is no doubt about that. He is a curmudgeon. But yeah, I mean, other than that, but like I said, I can't think of many that just completely throw their guys under the bus and say, that's it, we're moving on. And I'm blaming the kids. It's not my fault. I'm doing everything I can. Even though there may be part of that that's true, you just can't say that.
No.
And that's what they're going to go after. I mean, the reason that they're going to go fire him for cause, I think it was listener Andy, chimed. He goes, Andy wants to go, what's the definition of cause? Not winning. And FB Bank text saying, no, Andy, I don't think they're trying. No. They say there is something in his contract, and I don't know what it is. It's got to be in the fine print. But Gene Taylor said last night in a late press conference, that press conference was going at like 8:00 at night. But anyway, in that press conference, he said there is something in his contract that states that he can get fired for cause for the things that he said about the student athletes, and then for the ridicule that he got by the media and the national media.
Interesting.
Like that's the reasoning. So
let me see those terms. I want to read that.
I know, because it's almost like as if in the fine print or something like that, if something is said to make Kansas State look bad locally and nationally, that's a reason for that's a cause for firing. That's like something along the in much more fancier wording than I could come up with because I'm an idiot. But that's my point. I mean, there's something. Gene Taylor says there's something that says if you say or do something that causes the university harm or gets projected in a bad light, that's reason enough for being fired. That's how I read that. So
that's crazy because you just wouldn't imagine something like that being in a contract.
Well, see, and I think they're going to try to bend it on him because I think they're going to say, well, what if he's out there, philandering around Manhattan, if you know what I mean? He's out there chasing college girls at the bar. I mean, once again, you are showcasing K-State basketball in a bad light. Once again, I know it's a far stretch deal, but that's how they're going to try to turn this. They're going to say, well, you went bad on the kids, which in result got like PTI. I mean, PTI did a whole segment on it. Pardon the interruption. Did a whole segment on him, and they went after Jerome Tang in Kansas State about this whole ordeal. And they're going to say, K-State is, look, you made us look bad. And because of that, we're not going to pay you this money. That's the reason for cause. I feel pretty confident that's where they're going to go in this, Connor.
I don't know if you can do that, though.
I agree.
For performance.
I agree.
That's the thing.
But I don't even know if they can bend that enough to where they're able to get him for cause based upon that.
It would have to be what he said about the kids. That has to be the only thing that you could possibly spin.
I know, and that's why
for cause.
I don't think they can do that. I don't know if they can even bend it that far.
We'll find out.
I think they're going to end up. And Jerome Tang said in a statement yesterday to Pete Thamel after his fight, he said, "I'm going to go after all that $18 million." Why shouldn't he?
He deserves it. I mean, he got the contract, and I mean, he didn't do anything illegal as far as we know. So, I mean, give him his money.
Yeah, Jerome Tang is owed $18.67 million. He ends his career with a, what is that record? 71-57 record. It's amazing how good he started to how bad it's been. He still has a winning record when he's done.
And he was over 500 his second year, too, I think.
Yeah. And there was some bad luck in the second year where Naquan Tomlin, we've heard this, Naquan Tomlin and that situation that happened, and that could have been another team that made a deep postseason run. It all fell apart. And the funny thing is we need to get to break. Unfortunately, we got a lot more winners to get to, but it's my point of who is going to take this job and who wants it. And I'm very intrigued to have somebody on this week to talk about who they think they ought to go after. Every K-State fan in the world wants Brad Underwood, but that ain't happening. They want Brad Underwood.
No,
in Illinois. That ain't
not
happening.
a chance.
So who are they going to go after? There's one name that I saw that I really like, but I don't know if he wants to leave or not for this situation. Who wants to go to K-State's kind of in the middle of the Big 12 job rankings. I've seen that before. So I don't know. But this is but Gene Taylor did say they're going to go after a coach that has experience. And that seems like a good idea. Go after a coach that has experience. But yeah, it's a very, very interesting thing going on in Manhattan. And I will be fascinated along with everybody else if they can find cause for him. If they can find cause for firing him. That is for sure. I will certainly find that fascinating. Continuing on here on the Morning Blitz weekend winners. I got one more winner here, and then I'll let's see. I think I have one or two more. I've got two real quick ones. I'm going to hand out a winner to Baylor baseball. So we got college baseball underway this weekend. Winner to Baylor baseball's Tice Armstrong, a winner of the weekend. He played, by the way, for the Liberal BJs this in the summer league down here this previous summer. But Baylor baseball's Tice Armstrong became just the second player in NCAA baseball history to hit 3 grand slams in a single game. What a showing from Tice Armstrong. Very
awesome.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Think about just the luck, not the luck, but the opportunity to get up to the plate with the bases loaded 3 times in a game. And that's ridiculous. 3 grand slams.
Incredible.
3 grand slams in a single game for Baylor baseball and Tice Armstrong. By the way, shout out to Baylor baseball. Their skipper, Mitch Thompson, Goodland High School grad. Shout out to
really?
Yes, Mitch Thompson,
How about it?
high school grad. He is a Goodland High grad. He's the skipper at Baylor. And what a showing from Tice Armstrong over the weekend.
Okay. That's awesome. That's why we love college baseball.
We'll have more on this in the leftovers. I got more on college baseball from this weekend. It's been a great weekend for area college baseball teams. That's for sure. Any more winners from you?
I have like 3 more if you want to slide them to the next segment.
Okay. We'll see here. Go ahead. Just go through. We're in winners right now. We'll get to losers, and I don't have a lot of losers, so we can make that a shorter segment. So go ahead.
I'll give some love to Kenny Ishikawa, 2-way player for Georgia baseball. So he went out in the season opener against Wright State, grabs a couple RBIs, and then comes out and starts the next day, throws 4 1/3 shutout innings, and strikes out 8 guys. He's still eligible to go back to the NPB, I think, and he's kind of weighing his options, whether he wants to stick in college baseball or not, but it's a pretty good start for the young and Ishikawa right there. I mean, actually, he sat down 9 batters in a row as well, and again, did not allow any runs in that 4 1/3 inning start. So it's just little unique things like that, I think, make college baseball so fun. You don't get to see as many guys doing that in the pros. I mean, it's just Shohei pretty much, and nobody else who's consistently a good 2-way. So this guy, I think, is a real name to look out for as we go throughout the season. So got to show love to this Kenny Ishikawa fella for Georgia.
My final winner of the weekend, Anthony Kim, winner of a live golf event down in South Australia. It's not the fact that he won the live event. It's the fact that Anthony Kim gets it done after a 12-year absence from golf that included times that dealt with injuries as well as drug addiction. Anthony Kim, after a 12-year absence, wins a live event. So that was pretty cool to see. His great embrace with his, I think it was his son or daughter after he got the win. I mean, what a recovery for him. Remember when Anthony Kim was kind of the next great thing after Tiger Woods? He was kind of the next big Nike golfer following Tiger to an extent. It just got in the wrong spot. He looks different than he did when he was younger guy. He looks different. Really, he does. Whether that's the drugs or something like that caused that, but he's a different looking guy. But hey, 12-year absence away from golf, including a spot where he didn't even pick up the club for a few years, and ends up going back and winning an event there and live. So shout out to Anthony Kim on not only the win on the golf course, but the win in life, getting back on top of things for sure.
That's very impressive. Shout out to Anthony Kim. I was not familiar with him. I'm not going to lie, but
yeah. He was probably big right when you were born. That's probably what you remember.
Jeez. That's a long time ago. Well, we got a couple more here. Colby Community College girls basketball. They beat up on Coffeyville 65-46 at home, and they outscored them in every quarter. 16-15 in the first, 9-5 in what was just a defensive slugfest of a second quarter. Then 21-16 in the third, and 19-4 or 19-10 in the fourth quarter. Desiree Elmer had 22, and they didn't have any other player in double figures. Scoring was just distributed really well around the roster other than Dez's 22. So got to give a round of applause to Colby Community College women's hoops. They're trying to host a playoff game, and I think it's very possible if they keep churning out performances like this.
Yeah, 65-46. They were a winner. I saw that Fort Hays Tech Northwest Tech men picked up a win on Sunday, 89-82 over Cali. Fortunately, the Trojan men, they lost to Coffeyville 76-62, and the Tech women lost 88-66 for your JUCO basketball update there over the previous weekend. Any more winners for you before we get to losers, and breaking to losers, I should say?
Yes, quick one. I've got Ohio State baseball to keep with the theme of earlier of college baseball. After a season where they won 13 games, not the best in the first season for Justin Hare. They swept their opening weekend and beat St. Louis in 3 games.
Who is this?
Ohio State baseball.
Okay, Ohio State baseball. Okay.
And is St. Louis good at baseball? I don't really know. But I think Ohio State earning a sweep of any kind to start is a good sign because they totally retooled the roster. They only have like 3 or 4 guys coming back that are actually playing. So it's an admirable job from Justin Hare. He's a really nice guy and seems like a pretty good coach. Led Campbell to a lot of success when he was there. So shout out to him.
We have more. I'll have more thoughts on college baseball coming up. It was actually a really good weekend for area teams, regional teams, and the Big Ten, as you mentioned as well. So we'll get to more of that coming up a little later on the program of the leftovers. FB Bank text before we get to break. Some winners here. Michael says his winner of the weekend is Roman Anthony, replacing my boy Corbin Carroll on the U.S. World Baseball Classic team. Of course, I'm sad that Corbin is out. That's a sad deal.
Injury.
Michael also said something that LSU tried to fire Brian Kelly for cause, and look, that didn't go in their favor. True, it didn't.
They had a better case, I think.
They did, probably than I think it does. Jared H. chimes in. Let's see. His winner of the weekend, K-State baseball player Kennedy Jones, 2 grand slams in 2 consecutive games for the weekend. And also, he goes to Morgan Hills, who was the regional wrestler of the year, and also to Coach Andrew Flanagan, coach of the year for the girls wrestling team there in Colby. And let's see here. Yeah, there was, and then Kyle brought up an interesting name. This was actually, he brought up an interesting name about, he was predicting the future if Tang got fired from K-State. Kyle said, what about Brett Ballard at Washburn, who's winning D2? I love that idea personally.
That'd be interesting.
I would love it. Look at Ben McCollum and what he's done. He was at Northwest Missouri State, then Drake, and now at Iowa, and he's got the Cyclones on a NCAA tournament bubble at this point in time. I think D2 coaches do deserve a shot, and I think that'd be a great place to go if you wanted to look for that, Kyle. I love that idea. Okay, 7:37 Mountain, 8:37 Central Time. We'll take a break, come back with weekend losers next here on a Monday on the Morning Blitz.
Kick off 2026 ready for whatever winter brings. At Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby, they've got the gear to start the new year strong. Get organized with rugged storage totes. And when the snow starts falling, if it does, power through it with Ego and Craftsman snow blowers. Or if it's just the light stuff, blow it away with Ego leaf blowers. And don't forget ice melt to keep your sidewalk safe all season long. New year, winter ready. Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Helpful folks, trusted brands, and everything you need to get it done.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
It's time now for news from the world of agriculture on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Despite high beef prices, the U.S. cattle herd remains at record low numbers. Nate Kaufman, the senior vice president and Omaha branch executive for the Kansas Chief Fed, said the numbers show there should be some rebuilding underway.
You might ask the question, and especially as you look at the chart on the right-hand side and see that inventories have been declining for some time, that this market would be suggesting that there should be some expansion happening and there should be some herd rebuilding. And the reality is that that has been pretty slow.
He talked about what's holding producers back from adding to their herds.
Part of the reason is because, well, there are still costs involved, but these costs really have to be taken into account for multiple years and not just the current environment. I think there's some hesitation and some amount of risk aversion, just given the current level of prices, to think about expanding or investing in this market, whether you're the operation or the lender. There is some risk involved. And so just given the level of prices and essentially the point at which you would be investing in this market, the herd rebuilding has been relatively slow. It's happening in some places.
What's amazing is how much beef is still getting produced despite the small herd size.
Now, it is important to keep in mind that it's not just I think this point sometimes gets missed, but it's not just the number of animals. You obviously have to be thinking about what it means in terms of beef production. And beef production has been declining, but overall that level has been higher than what the inventories would otherwise suggest. And this is just because the animals are generally heavier than they were years and years ago. And so the production that we get from beef, it hasn't declined quite as much as what the inventories might suggest.
Again, that's Nate Kaufman of the Omaha branch of the Kansas City Fed. For the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network, I'm Addison Stoddard.
Synthetic nitrogen prices continue to fluctuate unpredictably. So Pivot Bio launched Proven G3, a weatherproof source of nitrogen with 3 modes of action. It's the lowest cost source of nitrogen on the market, helping growers replace nearly 30 pounds of nitrogen and delivering a nearly 2 bushel per acre yield increase in over 100 nationwide trials. That's performance your corn can always count on. See real results at pivotbio.com/proven it.
If you're buying or selling cattle, make your first stop livestockmarket.com. Bred cows, heifers, pairs, bulls, and frozen genetics, even feeder calves. You'll find them all at livestockmarket.com. Livestock Market features private treaty sales, online auctions, and live production sale bidding. You'll also find horses, sheep, goats, and hay. Check out the free Livestock Market magazine wherever you pick up Tractor House and download the Livestock Market mobile app today.
It's game time.
What time is it? Game time!
You're listening to the Morning Blitz.
Continuing on a Monday morning, 7:42 Mountain, 8:42 Central Time on this February the 16th. Glad to be back with you here. Once again, apologies for no show on Friday. That was yours truly's fault, not Connor's. But ready to charge into this week and look forward to lots of discussion, particularly about Jerome Tang being let go at Kansas State. That's probably the news of the day. Who will be taking K-State? Think about it. 2 new coaches at 2 of the major men's sports, football and basketball, in the same year coming up. An exciting year for K-State fans because of the unknown.
Yeah.
Also maybe a scary year because of the unknown as well.
Guess we'll find out.
We will. It'll be interesting. It's going to be a fascinating season year come 2026, 2027. Be an interesting school year, sports year cycle for K-State. Anyway, let's continue on. Weekend losers. Losers of the weekend. Connor, what do you have here?
Well, I've got one Kansas Jayhawks after a tough loss to Iowa State. And after the way they handled them the first time they met, I thought this would be much closer. And in reality, it's probably just a blip on their schedule. A loss like this, 74-56. They lost in Ames, Iowa, lost by 18, of course. And Darren Peterson did play this game, scored to only 10 points in 24 minutes, shot 3 of 10 from the floor. And I think it just shows everybody, hey, even after this nice run that Kansas has had, they're still human, and Iowa State is still one of the best teams in the nation. So Kansas still has a little bit of work to do if they want to consistently beat these teams and go far in the tournament. So it's a very slight warning sign, I'd call it.
I can't take too much away from this loss at Iowa State. Everybody that goes to Ames has I think, what's the word I'm looking for here? Has issues. I mean, Hilton Coliseum is a magical place. It's a lot like Fog Allen. It's just not, but it's a lot like it. And it's very, very hard to win there. Iowa State plays extremely well there. And I don't know. I'm not going to take too much away. Once again, I will continue my concern for the Darren Peterson story. Because once again, Darren Peterson plays 24 minutes in this loss at Iowa State. But guess what? Also on top of that, Darren Peterson, didn't play the final 10 minutes. I get the game was a little bit out of hand. I understand that. But it just concerns me that this guy just does not play a full game. And he rarely does. There's always an asterisk next to his name on something throughout a game, and it's not because he made besides Texas Tech, he made the game-winning shot. It's because, he was out because of leg cramps, or he was out because of flu-like symptoms. He outs because of, whatever. There was a false tweet on social media on Saturday, and for a second I bought it. It said, Darren Peterson out against Iowa State. Breaking news. He has Ebola.
God.
For a second, I thought, you got to be kidding me. And I was like, wait a minute. That's not right. But for a second, I almost bought it. But that's my point. He's never there.
He's not around.
He's just not. The best ability is availability. And he's not available most of the time. That's my thing. That's my biggest thing following Kansas basketball. I'll start buying in the fact I think they can be a Final Four team. They got enough pieces there, but he has to be there and be playing like they did against Texas Tech in order for them to be that Final Four team. I don't know if it can be that without him.
I think they'll be fine still.
I don't know. I'm certainly something I'm going to be watching. That is for sure. My biggest loser of the weekend, once again, was going to go to Jerome Tang. I know we touched on this in segment number 1. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but once again, Jerome Tang fired from Kansas State. If you're joining the program late, I don't know if Kansas State, Jerome Tang did a lot of things wrong. There's no doubt about it. He didn't win enough, that's for sure. And when he certainly was doing those things of, when he was certainly doing that stuff where he was not able, was blaming the players, that's where you're going to get really looked at. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised. I'm surprised. It's amazing when you listen to Gene Taylor, he's like, yeah, I kind of thought about after the loss against Cincinnati about letting him go, but I needed to go check with, the president and make sure we could do this. And so it makes sense when he's all said it, but I don't know. It's a fascinating thing to see what has come down the pipe here this year with K-State basketball. And I'd be so fascinated to see if Jerome Tang goes out there and is able to get all of his money, or if K-State is able to not have to end up paying him. Once again, the firing for cause thing seems like it's going to be a stretch, but K-State, why not try? I mean, you don't want to throw $18 million at a coach that's not going to work for you in this era where you need every single penny and dollar that you can have. I think that's just a huge thing there. With that being said, I can touch on this real quickly. The one thing I want to know is coaches that might want to take this job.
I just don't know who'd take this over.
Well, I think
a lot of the other ones that might be open.
There's going to be guys that want it. I mean, the thing is, though, is this job better than Providence, for example? I think is a job that might come open.
That's arguable. Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to throw out some names here of some other programs that might have.
Is it better than the Ohio State job if Jake Diebler gets fired? I don't think so.
Probably not.
Is it better than the Cincinnati job?
I don't know.
Wes Miller might get fired.
They're kind of on the same level there. I don't know. But that's the thing. And that was the discussion I saw with Field of 68 last night with Jeff Goodman. They were talking about, where does it stack up in the jobs that open? Because if you got the coach at St. Louis is going to be a very popular name.
Josh Schertz.
Yeah. Yep. Is that a guy that wants to go to K-State? Maybe. I don't know.
No. I don't see it.
But we don't know that. I mean, K-State has shown the ability to throw money at this program.
But if they have to pay this buyout, I don't think they're getting a guy like Schertz. I think Schertz is going to go to a more established program, and that's what I've been hearing from everywhere. No eyes on K-State. Maybe that changes now that Tang got fired, but I don't think so.
I don't know. And are they going to continue to spend this kind of money? Is that money going to go towards Colin Klein and the football program? I don't know. That's the thing we have to kind of wait and see. There is a name that stands out to me amongst the rest that I think would be a great hire if they could get him. And that would be Northern Iowa's Ben Jacobson. Excuse me.
Ben Jacobson. That'd be interesting. That'd be cool.
Sunday afternoon, there was Drake and UNI on CBS Sports Network. I was watching it. Ben Jacobson has been at Northern Iowa. I don't know if it's 20 years, but it's getting close. It's over a decade he's been there. A long time. And he has had Northern Iowa in a really good spot for a lot of years. I'm not saying they've made a lot of NCAA tournaments. They've made a good number.
What was the year where they hit that, where Paul Jesperson hit that half-court shot? Was that like 16 or 17? I think it was in that range, but real ball knowers will remember.
But Northern Iowa is a really good basketball program, and Ben Jacobson has been at the heart of it for a long time, and he's been there a long time, and he is a consistent winner. I'm not saying he's always winning like 30 games a year like you have to almost in the Valley in order to make it, especially if you don't win the tournament, but he wins over 20 plus games a year. I think it would be a great hire. Hire. And Gene Taylor is an Iowa guy. I think he's originally from Iowa. And so he might have some connections. So that's a name I'd watch. Ben Johnson at Northern Iowa would be a name I watch for Kansas State. I think it'd be a great hire.
I like it.
So just a name I saw and thought that's a good one. Interesting. But weekend loser Jerome Tang, what he's been saying about his players, you can't do that. But I am fascinated to see if Kansas State can get him to fire for cause. I still think that's going to be a massive stretch. What else you got for losers this weekend?
I've got two more. So first one, bubble teams in the NCAA. So we had a lot lose this weekend. So first off, Indiana loses by 20 at Illinois. Not an easy place to play by any means. Ohio State just throws away a potential win on a neutral site against Virginia in a little ACC Big Ten action. That was an agonizing watch. I'll tell you that much. Oh, that sucked.
I watched some of that on Saturday for you.
Fellas should have won. I'll say that much. Devin Royal. You know what? I digress. Virginia Tech got beat up by a bad Florida State team by 23 on their home court at that. Santa Clara lost to Gonzaga. They did put up a fight. Oklahoma State lost to TCU. They've lost 3 straight. And Georgia lost by 16 to Oklahoma, who is probably just as bad as Florida State. So a lot of bubble teams just dropping this weekend.
It really wasn't that great of a college basketball weekend.
No.
There weren't that lot of great games to start with. Like, just the schedule wasn't great. And then the games that were supposed to be good really weren't, like Kansas, Iowa State, and things like that. So, yeah, it was kind of a bad weekend for college basketball, unfortunately. Especially it's kind of the first weekend that there's no pro football mixed in. It was kind of a rough weekend that did not go better for them, for sure. I would agree.
If that Duke North Carolina game could have been this weekend, that would have been awesome.
Oh, yeah. Or that there was, Colorado, BYU was a good one, but I don't think a lot of people were watching that. And Colorado just about got the upset over there in
overtime.
By the way,
Crazy.
Richie Saunders out for the year. The big sharpshooter for BYU. Huge loss for them. But yeah, that was about the only real close game, honestly, on the weekend there. And my final loser of the weekend, because I am just absolutely enthralled by this sport at this time for the next, 5 days? Curling. Team Canada, loser of the weekend. Have you seen this whole deal with Team Canada and curling?
Yes, I have.
There's videos out there of Canada when they throw the rock, they touch it with their finger just before they let it go. That's illegal. There's video evidence of them doing it. And they say, we aren't doing this. We're not doing it. There's video evidence.
But they're doing it.
And people and the other teams are calling them out. It's hilarious. It honestly.
Incredible.
And guess what? The men did it first. Then the women did it. The women did it here I think it was yesterday they did it. It's nuts.
Curling drama. It's crazy.
It is crazy to see drama. By the way, I love curling. Team USA, as of yesterday, was like 5-2 or 4-2 in round robin. A bunch of youngsters out there, like 25-and-a-half-year-olds. A bunch of U's out there, Connor Schuh, for the U.S. curling.
Yes, so.
It's fun to watch. I tell you, I love curling. I am all in on it. I love watching it. It's my favorite Olympic sport to watch at this point in time. So anyway, your final loser of the weekend before we get to our final break.
MLB broadcasts. They will be getting rid of how it shows the little ball in the zone, whether it was a strike or not.
Yeah.
They're no longer doing that.
What?
Yep. They're taking that out because apparently it's going to conflict with ABS coming in, and they don't want fans getting mad because ABS calls it a certain way, but the broadcast shows it differently, which I think is stupid. But
why can't they show what ABS is showing?
That's what I'm thinking. Or I think it's for the challenges, so fans don't get mad. It's stupid. Not a big fan.
That is dumb. Just show what the ABS is showing. That's all you got to do. Who cares? Wow. Yeah. MLB baseball. Anyway, they can shoot themselves in the foot. They do it. They love to shoot themselves in the foot there with Major League Baseball. And
baseball as a whole.
They're about to blow their entire legs off here after this season. I can guarantee it. They're about to blow all their legs off.
Hello, lockout.
Yep, that's right. All right, let's weekend losers. Let's get to our final break before we and then we'll come back with the leftovers and wrap things up here on a Monday on the Morning Blitz.
It's time to step into premium capability at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland with strong GMC offers happening now. Get into a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation with up to $7,000 in rebates, now $51,150. And if you're ready for a full-size luxury, the 2026 GMC Yukon features 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. Full design, professional-grade performance. GMC delivers power and refinement wherever the road takes you. Visit Earl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland today or online at earlchev.com.
When fraud strikes, every second counts. At FNB Bank, we take your security seriously. Our local team monitors for suspicious activity and responds fast, so small issues don't turn into bigger problems. I'm Jessica Von Little at FNB Bank. We are your first line of defense, protecting you, your money, and your peace of mind. FNB Bank, local, trusted, here for you. Member FDIC.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
Looking for serious truck savings? Head to Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland and check out these Chevrolet deals happening now. Drive home a 26 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom with up to $6,000 in rebates, now just $45,335. Need more features? Step into a 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 LT with up to $5,750 in rebates, now $52,040. Power, capability, and value, all backed by the Chevrolet name. See the lineup today at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, online at hurlchev.com.
Breaking down the plays, the players, and the passion.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
This is the Morning Blitz.
It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
More on weekend winners and losers from the F&B Bank text line at 785-899-2222. Thank you for everybody for being a part of the show this morning. My man, Steve and Binkelman, Husker softball, Nebraska softball, 2-1 against teams ranked number 1. They beat Texas Tech yesterday.
Ooh.
Shout out to Husker softball.
Texas Tech is a wagon in softball.
Getting it done. No longer Jordy Ball, now Jordy Fromm, but nonetheless, great showing there. Listener Larry says, another loser for another year, all-star weekend in the NBA. Absolutely. I mean, I
didn't even watch.
Didn't watch. Couldn't care less, Larry. Didn't watch a single bit of it. I know they did.
The dunk contest was pretty.
Yeah, I mean, the All-Star Weekend is absolute garbage and trash in the NBA, and actually, it is in a lot of sports. Don't want to just throw the NBA under the bus. It is in a lot of sports.
Pro Bowl's not great anymore.
Nope, sucks. MLB baseball's probably the best. Although the NHL with that, what was that? The NHL face-off they did this previous year.
That was kind of cool.
That was fun. Enjoyed that. But yeah, all-star weekends are not good. And so, yeah, I would agree. They did it completely. I couldn't even explain it. I didn't watch any of it, but all I know is that it's not good. They tried this whole new deal, picking teams, different teams, only playing like a half of basketball. And it was definitely unique, but yeah, could care less. Didn't watch any of it, Larry. Sorry. Leftover real quickly for me before we get out of here. And then I'll let Connor have the final word if you'd like, but, some baseball news and notes. Colby Community College baseball 3-5 on the season. They split their weekend series with Lamar, went 1-1. So they're 3-5 on the season. And how about a great start to the weekend for regional college baseball teams? So KU goes 2-1 and wins the series down at UTRGV, or that's also known as University of Texas Rio Grande Valley.
Rio Grande Valley's kind of good. So
KU's got a good program. Dan Fitzgerald is a fantastic skipper, fantastic coach there at Kansas. If they go 2-1 on the opening weekend, Kansas State, as of going into today with one more game left at the MLB Desert Invitational, which I think is super cool. I think the MLB Desert Invitational is sweet. You get about 12 teams. I don't know, that might be exaggeration. 8 teams, 12 teams go down and play at the minor league baseball parks there in Arizona, kind of against each other. Really cool. To see at least these guys get a chance to play in these really nice ballparks that they only use, a couple, it seems like really heavy, a couple months a year. And they're super fancy. But Kansas State goes 3-0, absolutely blasted Penn State and Iowa. I mean, I think Penn State, they won 24-5. They blew the doors off of them. They have a chance to go 4-0 as they take on Air Force. And then Nebraska is 3-0 as well. They blasted Grand Canyon last night, 9-1. They get Stanford today. So there's a possibility, not saying it's going to happen, but K-State, Nebraska, and Kansas could be a combined 10-1 after this first weekend.
Okay, you mentioned Nebraska baseball. I have to give a shout out to Case Sanderson, former Katuitt Cavalier. He was with us this summer.
Case, man.
Nice guy. Starting first baseman this year, I'm pretty sure, / outfielder.
He's a dude.
He is.
He's a really good. I thought you were going to give some stats on him, but no, he's He's really good.
I'm pulling him up right now. Just you wait. He's leading the team with a 7.14 average. He's 5 for 7 with a double and an RBI. No homers or triples, but he's just slapping around those singles. He's not usually a big power guy anyway, just a lot of hits.
Well, I do got to throw this out here. Here is a stat of the weekend from Nick Handley, who helps cover the Husker baseball team. He goes hitters 2 through 5, which includes Case Sanderson with Josh Overbeek, Dylan Carey, and former Washburn Ichabod Jet Buck. That's hitters 2 through 5.
Jet Buck.
Yeah, great name. 26 for 51 with 7 doubles, a triple, a homer, and 18 RBI.
Like that.
Hitting 509. Nebraska is absolutely mashing the baseball to start this year. It's been a lot of fun to hear that. All right, we got to get out of here. On to the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball high and deep to right. How about a walk-off Gray? Thomas to the 10. Difference going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes swings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Anything from you in the walk-off today? Missed?
Well, we didn't talk about, I guess, the final for the K-State game. They lost 64-78 in Jerome Tang's swan song. You know what? I heard they played it. They played hard, and it wasn't nearly as bad of a showing as they put together against Cincy. So, half credit for that.
Do you know what the storyline of the game was for me? Is that he took the names off the back of the uniform.
There is that. There is that. That was incredible, and he made Nate Johnson and Abdi Bashir talk about it after the game, and they very begrudgingly said that they were okay with it and they want to, represent the name on the front or the name on the back.
That haven't played much at
Well,
all.
Nate Johnson has been a starter all year,
but Abdi Bashir has been hurt here recently.
He's been out. I don't know why he brought Bashir up.
Golly, that is a train wreck. Luckily, that train has completely derailed it, and now they can start building anew. By the way, shout out more wrestling. 42nd Northwest, Colby Community College, each qualified 5 guys for the NJCAA National Wrestling Tournament this past Saturday down at Pratt. So congratulations to those 10 gentlemen on getting her done there. Yeah, that'll do it for the program. God, busy weekend. So much to get to and just not enough show to get it all in. But
yes,
that's all right. Well, we'll do it again tomorrow. We'll pick things up tomorrow. Hope you join us on a Tuesday edition of the Morning Blitz. We'll see you then.